Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to make a book video. Today I wanted to talk about the books I plan to read in 2024. I'm usually a really good reader and I can finish a book like in a day if I really wanted to, but the challenge is making myself sit down so I can enjoy myself and have a good time with a book. So, and I wanted to read more this year anyways because I have so many books in all of my shelves that I still have to read, and I want to buy more books, but I can't buy more books until I read all of these. Here I've gathered 12 books. I figure one book at the minimum for every month. And yeah, here are the books that I plan to read this year. So this is the book that I'm actually currently reading. It's Send Me Their Souls by Sarah Wolfe. Very good so far. This is the last one in her trilogy, I believe. I'm almost halfway. Yesterday I was like here, but I got up to there, so it was pretty good. But I really enjoy this book so far. It kind of reminds me of like a more political, darker Ella Enchanted. I really like this book. I really like this book. And when I'm done with the series, I'm thinking maybe I go through and maybe do like a book review for YouTube or something. Because I want to do more book things, because reading is a big part of who I am. And I watch book videos and stuff all the time. And I want to get better about talking about books and reading books and like soaking everything in about a book. So I figured this would be fun for us. Let me grab them all just so you can see. Look at all of these. We're gonna put this back down. So this first one is just a guilty pleasure. It's Star Wars The Force Awakens. It's the novelization. I really enjoyed the sequel characters, less so the plot, to the extent where me and Samantha rewrote the whole sequel trilogy in a Google Docs one night. I really love all the sequel characters. I think they have and had so much potential, but they weren't really given that opportunity, so naturally I'm always looking for more and more content of them to make them like, so I can see a little bit more character growth. Like you have the comics, not the comics of like the movies, but you have like the Poe Dameron comics, you have the ones with the spin-offs with Rey and Luke comics. I can't think of them all from my head right now because it's been a second since I've read them, but there are comics. And then you also have like the fun little field guides, and you have, what else is there of them? You have Freefall, which I have mixed emotions about that book. What else do you have? You know, all these other things. There's also fan fiction and headcanons, which, guilty. But yeah, so I want to read this book because why not? I like it. So the next book is Siege and Storm. This is the second book to the Shadow and Bone series. Not much to say about this one. And I don't really want to. For people who haven't read Shadow and Bone yet, I don't want to like, last we left off at, you know, kind of thing. But I enjoyed the first book. I want to finish the series because I have it. I'm excited to see what our main characters get into next. This next one is called The Winged Histories, and it's the experience of 4 women in this war/rebellion. One's a soldier, a poet, a socialite, and a scholar in this like fun fantasy set. Well, I don't know if it's fun, they're in a war, but it's in this cool fantasy setting. It just sounded really interesting, and I love multiple perspectives. I wish more books had multiple POVs, especially some of the romance ones, because it's like, I feel like we always see the perspective of love from the women's perspective, but you don't see the men swoon, even though like in the books they're definitely swooning. But I want to read about their thoughts mid-swoon, you know? When I got through Mist and Fury, and the second to last chapter was Rhysand's POV, I was like, oh, what? Like I would love to see Mist and Fury from Rhysand's perspective. Would love it. I know there's a fan fiction out of it. I have not found it yet. But when I do, I don't want anyone to call me, text me. I am unavailable. Just pretend that I'm not here. I'm busy. Occupied. But yeah, I don't know how like multiple POV this is going to be. I really don't know much about this book. I'm still excited to read this. This one is also, like, I don't have a lot of rhyme or reason to read this one, but this one is called When Stars Alight, and I was really intrigued by the cover. The cover looked very fun and magical, and the main character is a fallen star. And I haven't read the book version of it yet, Stardust, but I remember growing up and watching the movie, and I loved the movie. I really want to read the book, but I haven't yet bought it yet because I have all of these books to read, but I doubt this is going to be anything like Stardust. I am very intrigued by the fallen star characters, so very excited to read this as well. This one is Tangled in Time, The Portal. The same author who wrote this wrote The Guardians of Ga'Hoole. I never read The Guardians of Ga'Hoole growing up. I want to now, but I was strictly a Warriors Cat kid. Again, the cover really intrigued me. It just looked really cool. I actually found this in the kids section. But all that I know is that it's about an orphaned girl who time travels. She goes to live with her grandma, and I think there's this greenhouse and it has the portal for her to time travel, I think. I don't know. I haven't read it. But yeah, it sounded interesting. And she's going back in time, so I think this will be fun. So this is A Lady's Guide to Mischief and Mayhem. It's a mystery rom-com book. She's a reporter back in the 1860s, so obviously the rest of society doesn't like that. And she writes about crime, so they tell her to be more ladylike, so she leaves. And then she accidentally witnesses a murder, I think, of the detectives, the cute detectives. Crime scene? I don't know. But yeah, and then hijinks ensues. It looks fun. It looks fun. I don't read a lot of mysteries, so I'd like to get into it. I know there's so many like Agatha Christie stories. I haven't read any of those quite yet. But this one kind of reminds me of Enola Holmes, and I really enjoyed Enola Holmes. And it's a rom-com, so yeah, duh. But yeah, so this should be a fun read. I think I've said this is going to be a fun read for all of these books, and that I'm excited to read all of these books, I'm pretty sure. This next one, also guilty pleasure. I love Star Wars. Love it. So, I just like space opera things. This is about Leia and Han's honeymoon. And I'm sure something goes wrong, so that's what the book's about. But, very excited. Very excited. So this one is the first book to the Remnant Chronicles. It's called The Kiss of Deception. And I don't quite know. Samantha bought me Dance of Thieves. If you don't know, the Dance of Thieves is written by the same author. And she got me that one first. I have yet to read it because then she saw on TikTok that she was like, hey, so I saw that a lot of people like don't get Dance of Thieves because this is in the same world, or this is like the first, you know, something in that realm. I was like, okay, good to know. So I'll just put off Dance of Thieves for now, and I'll read her first series, which is the Remnant Chronicles. It's got a rebel princess who leaves home because they're telling her to get married. So she says F that and leaves to go have a little village life. And then she has bounty hunters following her. And then eventually a prince shows up, an assassin, and then, love. So this sounds like a good read. Very excited. Fantasy. Should be good. Okay, this one I plan to be my October read because it is called The Werewolf of Bamberg. If you know me personally, you know that I have a little bit of a fear of werewolves. I don't like, it's not like a phobia, but if you put a werewolf in front of me, I'd be gone. I wouldn't be there. I own the game The Quarry. Have yet to play it. Have yet. I need someone next to me so I can play that game. My fear began when I was a small child and I watched The Prisoner of Azkaban for the first time. That werewolf, particularly. I don't know, I don't like the humanoid, weird looking, like, furry werewolves actually I'm fine with. I'm like, okay, but like, the naked humanoid looking ones, don't involve me. I don't like it. But it's like, I don't like it so much to the point where I can't look away. And that's what happened when I was small watching this movie. It was like, oh, don't watch, kind of thing. So yeah, I thought this would be a fun October read. It's a big book, about some killings that are happening in the 1660s, and it's a werewolf, so the town's trying to figure out who the werewolf is, so it should be fun. I'm hoping it's like a good supernatural spooky read. Like, there better be a werewolf in this, or a good plot twist that it's not a werewolf, because I don't want to be like, oh, it was actually just John. You know, John's a little bit of a serial killer. That's what I don't want. I don't want it. I want a werewolf. Picked up the book for the werewolf, want the werewolf. Surprisingly. This next one is the last book of the series as of now to ACOTAR. It's Court of Silver Flames. Last year I read all of the ACOTAR series besides Big Mama here. And if you haven't read ACOTAR, I enjoyed it. I didn't think I would. Me and Sam actually were talking about reading the books like forever, and we were like, I hear mixed reviews. I hear some people who are like, I love it, and some people who are like, nah. I thoroughly enjoyed ACOTAR. I don't really have too many complaints. This is the last book. This is Nesta's and Cassian's book. Personally, up until before this book, right now, as of now, I really like Nesta and I really like Cassian, so I'm excited to read this. Very excited. Would Nesta and Cassian be considered grumpy sunshine? And Nesta's grumpy and Cassian's sunshine? I feel like he's more the sunshine guy. Let me know your thoughts. Let's book club this question. What do you guys think? This is Winter. This is the 4th book to the Lunar Chronicles. If you haven't read the Lunar Chronicles, let me hook you up to something. Such a fun book series. The Lunar Chronicles is like a space opera mixed with fairy tale retellings. And you're still on Earth, but it's in the like the way distant future. Like, there's people living on the moon who are called the Lunar People, and some of them have powers. And the Lunar Queen, who's like the evil queen, she wants to become the Earth Queen and kill the prince, because she wants to marry him to become the queen and then kill the prince, you know? And the whole series is about all of these characters slowly coming together and finding each other and making it their mission to go stop the queen. And it's so good. I love it. It's very found family. There's always something going on. They're either split up and doing their own missions or trying to get back to each other, or they're all together, and the dialogue is just really good. Story is, I love it. It's space opera with fairy tales, and that is like perfect for me. So I'm excited to read this one. Okay, the last one to the pile. This one might be a bit of a challenge for me because it's a big book, but it is Priory of the Orange Tree. I don't know much about it. I've heard that it's good. It's got fantasy, it's got magic, it's got dragons in it, dragon riding. And the other reason that I got it is because it's such a big book. I love a good big book. There are plenty of books that I own that I like adore and reread, but I'm like, this could have been so much. This could have been such a bigger book and give me like a handful of more chapters. So I'm excited about this one. I haven't really heard many complaints about this book. Yeah, I'm excited for this one. This is the only thing I'm not looking forward to though, is starting this book, because I'm be so bothered when I open to the first chapter and I'm reading like this. Like, the spine is just, I know it's gonna bother the heck out of me when I'm gonna get carpal tunnel from holding this book. Nonetheless, I'm excited. Look at that sound. Anyways, just excited to read that book. And that is all the books of 2024 that I plan to read. I'm hoping that I can get through these relatively quickly. And I can add more of my books to this list, and then maybe at the end of the year I can make books that I've read of 2024 and we can talk about all the books that I've read. Or maybe I do little book reviews here and there and try to learn how to do that. So that's about it. Thank y'all so much for watching. Let me know what books you're planning to read of 2024, and also let me know what you think of the Nesta Cassian. Are they grumpy sunshine trope? If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye!